We are live with Lunch Break Live. Chef Jenny, let's get cooking.
Okay, so I'm going to be making a sticky orange sauce for some tofu chicken that I like to call. Right now I'm squeezing out some orange into my dish that is already minced with some garlic here. So I'm going to be using about an orange and a half for the sauce. And then I'm going to put the sauce to the side while we make the tofu. So while we prep the tofu.
Unbelievable. This is 100% plant-based vegan. It's a sticky vegan orange Chk'n dish. And Veganlicious, Jenny, you have such a cool thing going. Take it away. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing and what you're up to.
So with this right now, I am basically with this right now, or me on the vegan world.
Well, let's go with the orange sauce and then vegan world. You got it.
Okay, so this orange sauce. So what I'm really right now I'm prepping it, which is basically the orange and the garlic, and then I'm gonna have to heat it up. But I like to do this part I like to heat it up after the chicken is done cooking. So right now this is just a prep and getting the orange zest out, and then I'm gonna put this to the side. And I'm also going to add, so I used about one orange because this orange is really big. Normally, I would have used probably like 1.5. Because it's so big, I got one and it's very juicy. I'm also going to add into it white vinegar, a tablespoon of white vinegar.
I love it. A homemade sauce that could be good on all kinds of things. I'm really excited to see what you're going to make, how you're going to make your Chk'n, which is vegan for chicken. I'm really excited. What's that?
So this is soy sauce. So I put a tablespoon of the white vinegar, rice vinegar, and now I'm putting in 2 tablespoons of the soy sauce. And then this is the part that then I'm just going to whisk it and put it to the side. I'm not going to need this until I'm ready to cook it again. And make it thick with the, start making it sticky. So I'm going to put this aside, and then we're going to take over with the tofu. So in this bowl here, I have tofu broken up into chunks. And what I like to do with my tofu, whenever I'm making this recipe or any like fried tofu recipe, is I like to freeze it overnight. So when you freeze it overnight 2 times and you defrost it, freeze it, the texture is more of a chicken texture. It's more thicker, it's firmer. It just does magic. A lot of people that don't like tofu end up liking it when it's this way. They don't even realize it's tofu.
Wow. You know, I just did this and you're right. It was like a chicken texture.
Yeah.
Okay. Where are you located? And tell us a little bit about what you're up to with the events that you cater and the specialty meals that you make. Take it away.
Okay, so I'm in Brooklyn, New York, and basically I do catering for small events, and I do at times I do pop-up delivery services. So it might be like a Sunday, like this is my meal, and I'll deliver on Sundays. And I also do a lot of meal preps. Lately, I've been getting a lot of meal preps that people look at my catering menu and they turn them into meals. So I've been doing that a lot. This is the season for coquito. My culture, I'm Puerto Rican and Honduran, so I've been also selling vegan coquito, and that usually sells out really quick around this time of year because the ingredients are really hard to get. So what I have right now, but that's basically what I do besides teaching. I have 2 dishes. They're both cornstarch and flour in it. In the small one, I'm gonna make this like my wet batter. So I'm going to add some almond milk to it. I usually add about, I would say, a half a cup to it. And it's the same. They're both the same. Just one is less cornstarch and less flour. I'm going to whisk this together.
Amazing. Now, I also understand you have an ebook coming out highlighting how easy it is to transition to a vegan lifestyle. Wow. And you're known for veganizing your cultural favorites. Tell us a little bit about that.
So a lot of my I'm going to lower this because this is kind of getting hot. So a lot of my cultural favorites are like, foods that I grew up with. So rice and chicken, Spanish rice and chicken, empanadas, pasteles, pastelillos, acapuria. It's a lot of vegan, it's a lot of like cultural Puerto Rican stuff. But what I like to do is I make it the same. Just I take out any of the meat, any of the animal ingredients, and I just use vegan ones as a substitute. Which is part of my ebook that I'm working on, is to show people how easy it is. So you just literally have to change a few little ingredients. It's not a lot. And you can still eat. Because my suggestion to anybody that wants to be a vegan is don't change the game. Eat the same foods you like and change 1 to 2 ingredients. Because once they try to change their, everything, I feel like, they relapse. They go back into eating meat. Because they're like, I can't do it. It's too hard. I don't know any ideas. I don't know what to make. When it's basically you're making the same things, just taking out 2 or 3 ingredients.
Ah, I see. So you're saying swap out, figure out
Right.
dishes that you traditionally enjoy, and then figure out the swap outs.
Yeah, exactly. Just, yeah. Because it's not that hard, and then a lot of the stuff I make are really quick. I mean, this is going to be done, within 20 minutes. It's not hard. It's not long. I'm taking the tofu chunks. I put it in the wet batter first, and then I just put it in the dry. Sometimes, you could, I'm eating this myself, so I'm using my fingers. But normally you can use a tonsil or something. But it's super quick. Does not take long. I seasoned it with the stuff that I usually season. It was chicken, which is onion powder, garlic powder, pepper, salt, a little Italian seasonings. And I did it equal to both batters. And then you just fry it for like 2 or 3 minutes. For this, I will be using my tonsils.
Okay, now shout out to that cool shirt you have. We determined it's a cauliflower and a brain, with the brainstem, the cauliflower stem. Tell us a little bit about that company, if you will.
So the shirt is from Vegan State of Mind, which is a company, I believe they're in California too. And they sent me a few shirts, and it's called Vegan State of Mind. And I think, the shirt is playing on the wording, so it's a broccoli, cauliflower, we're not sure, but, and it looks like a brain. So I just love it. And their colors are amazing.
I love it. Okay, back to your food specifically. What are you finding that people want the most? What are they ordering and what are they requesting? Take it away.
So they order most that goes really high is the empanadas, which are like patties, filled with meat, or I do jackfruit or Beyond Meat. The other thing is lasagna goes a lot. I do a chickpea lasagna and a regular lasagna. I do it either with all veggies, or with Beyond Meat. The cashew sauce that I use is homemade on that. I use it as a substitute for ricotta. People usually love that. The other thing I make that sells out pretty quick is the bulgur and beans. I don't know if you heard of bulgur, but it's a good rice alternative. So it has a lot more fiber than quinoa, but that usually is like a repeat that people order a lot. What I'm making now, a lot of people order this with either the orange sauce or the barbecue sauce, but this is a high seller.
Amazing. We have a question of what kind of pot is that? We're curious.
So this pan that I'm using, it's actually on my Amazon storefront. It is like a fry. I don't know what, but it is perfect for frying because it covers it up, and as the stuff are coming out, there's like a little grill here normally, and you could just put it there and it drains the oil. But the link is on my Instagram, and it's on my Amazon store. But yeah, I love it. You could close it, and it's perfect.
It's incredible. I think we need to order this, y'all. I'm going to put your link, how people can find you. Also, we're wondering if you squeezed out the tofu once you put it into the freezer overnight, you were saying, and then what happens when you pull it out? How do you work with it to to get it to the texture that you have it? That's like a little bit of like a chicken texture. Go for it.
Right. So after I put it in the freezer, I let it defrost, and then I put it in the freezer again. Then in the final defrost, after that, I have a tofu press, which is also on my Amazon store. I put it in here, and I let it sit for like an hour, pressing out any excess liquids or water in here. And then I break it into chunks. It's not as delicate anymore as normally tofu would get. You know, when you break tofu and it just falls apart, it's like, you know, the texture is firmer. There's some chemistry behind it.
I love it. I love it. So there you go. Everybody hear that? You've got 2 times in the freezer, and then you're going to come back and it'll be ready to go. And you're going to, like you said, put it into the tofu press. Okay.
Now I'm going to drain the tofu out. I'm going to take out the tofu because most of it is actually almost done. You can see. That. I'll go a little bit longer.
Now we have a question for reviewing the batter, because the batter can be so tricky and sticky. So take it away. What kind of batter did you make there?
What batter did I make?
Yes, please. Can you review what's in the batter? Yes.
Yeah. So the batter is this. Like I did 2 pie pans, and they're both the same exact ingredient, except one has almond milk and the other one doesn't. I found for my tofu to be crispy, crispier is cornstarch, adding cornstarch to it. So I use flour. Sometimes I could use panko flakes, but cornstarch is like the magic ingredient.
All right, amazing. Yeah. So how long do you keep them in the pot, in the oil, like you said there?
Yeah, not too long because they it cooks kind of quick. It's really up to the color, you know. Like, so I'm waiting for it to just get a little brown, get brown. Where's the screen? There we go. I'm waiting for it to get brown, which most of it honestly already is. But yeah, it's really just, you know, it's like less than 5 minutes, I think, cooking. I'm taking out some pieces so we can get started with the sauce. So while that's cooking, I'm going to come back to this sauce here. And in here, if we remember, I have 1 orange juice. I have 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. I have 1 tablespoon of the white rice vinegar. And I'm going to add, and garlic. I have 3 cloves of garlic minced. And I'm going to add brown sugar, a 1/4 cup of brown sugar into that. And then we're just going to mix this up. And this, as soon as the tofu is done frying, I'm going to cook this for like a minute with some cornstarch slurry.
Amazing, amazing. Check this out. This is such an easy recipe, you all. Vegan orange chicken. If you live in the Brooklyn, New York area, you can have this delivered or pick up rather. You can also have catered delicious food by Jenny and her company. And okay, back to you.
Okay, so I'm actually getting ready to take out the tofu, and then we just toss it. Like from here, the recipe is almost basically done. Just want it a little bit brown. I do like, and I purposely, I don't know how many other people do this, like I like to overcook, like make my stuff burnt and crunchy. So that's what I'm kind of going for. This is probably going to need like another 2 minutes, I think.
Extra crispy. Now, somebody was asking about the bulgur. Does it taste like a rice or more like a quinoa?
It doesn't taste like quinoa. A lot of people that actually don't like quinoa like the bulgur. It's like a wheat. When I make it, I don't make it plain. So to me, it tastes more like a ricey. It's not seeds like quinoa. It's a little thicker, grainier. But I mix it with like beans. Like if I was cooking rice and beans, I would use the bulgur instead. You could put veggies in it, like a stir fry. I would use bulgur instead. You know, there's no way to mess up bulgur because it cooks so fast. You know, like rice, it could be too mushy, too sticky, too, you know, not too hard. Bulgur, you can't mess up. It's super easy. It's all about the flavors you put in.
Now, just to review the batter again, you had the almond milk, the cup of cornstarch, and the flour, plus 2 teaspoons of salt, pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, cumin, oregano. We're going to get all of this over onto the website as well. And then the sticky orange sauce. Oh my gosh, just love that as well, with lots of seasonings and some brown sugar like you just showed. The fresh squeezed oranges. Oh my goodness, yes. Wow. Okay. So what would you like to share with people who are on their way and on their journey to more plants on their plate?
to more plants on the plate. Don't give up. Be creative. Do your research. There's so many vegan options out there that there's like no need to give up on this journey. And it's not as hard as your mind is making it. It's not as hard. You know, that's my best advice. And like I said, don't try to reinvent the wheel. Do what you know and just make swaps in the beginning. There's so many transitional meats too right now.
Amazing, amazing. You're going to be here, and we're going to get some of this on the plate in a moment, everybody. Yeah. And again, you can serve it with rice and or older, or like you said, there's so many options to serve this with.
Right now, what I'm going to work on, since this tofu is still browning, is I'm going to be doing the garnish. So I usually like to top it off with a little green onions. I use the front and sometimes the back. And sesame seeds. And this is totally optional. It does make it look pretty though on a plate.
Absolutely. Now, how are you finding, as far as your friends and family, are they finding the journey to more plants on their plate, challenging? What kind of questions do you get along the way?
So a lot of times, so my family, they're actually all, I've been on this journey since 2014, but most of them are turning, vegan. So it's actually pretty interesting now. Like our Thanksgivings are vegan, all vegan based. They're all supporting me. In the beginning, they weren't. We would have, like 2 different types of menus. And now we're at the point that it's a vegan menu, even though they're not fully vegan. My daughter is on her way. She eats no meat, but she is, she does have dairy occasionally. But I'm hoping to keep inspiring. I feel like a lot of times they're like, how'd you make this? Give me your recipe. Like they're getting there. They're seeing that it's not as hard as they may assume or think it is. All right, I'm gonna take some of these out.
Well, I certainly appreciate that point of view. And, having been vegan since 2014, you're really bringing forth the message through your food. You're doing food activism, as well as, your messages that you put out on all your social media. It's just so inspiring. Really appreciate it, Jenny.
Thank you.
And again, you can find her. I'm going to put this back up here, y'all. You can find Jenny at Veganlicious_NYC. Head over to her offerings, and she's got an ebook coming out as well very soon.
Yes, ebook. I'm working on the ebook. I'm trying to make it a little different than, there's so many ebooks out there. I'm trying to make it so that it's supporting people on their transition. Can I get water in there? So that, like I want to have like affirmations built into it, goals, missions into it, so that people can really truly stay on it. Because I know it's tempting, it's easy to get off. All right, now we're browning up. So.
All right, and we're going to see the finished dish in just a moment, everybody. We want to thank you here for joining us on Lunch Break Live, and we're going to have this recipe, and there's thousands of others on our website. Head on over, and we just thank you so much again for joining us. I'm going to pop up here how people can find you, but check out these shirts at Vegan State of Mind as well. That's such a cute shirt. Just love that. And you can find that, like you said, you can find that pan, that pot. You can find a tofu press and more if you just head over to Jenny at Veganlicious_NYC and over to the finished dish.
Yes. So I'm going to move it. I just need a towel. Yep. We're going to move this, and I'm going to show you guys how to make the sauce, and then it's done. It's completely done.
Amazing. We're so grateful you are here with us live from Brooklyn. Here we go. Back to you.
Okay. So here in a separate pot, I have, so the tofu is here. It's all done. It's crispy. It's crunchy. In this pot here, I'm going to be putting in my soy sauce, orange, and garlic. It's going to be mixed in there. And brown sugar. I also added brown sugar. And this is like the easiest part, honestly. So as this is there, on the side here, I have a tablespoon of cornstarch, plain cornstarch. And I'm going to add the same amount, same part of water into this. And this is going to be the slurry that thickens up that sauce. And I'm going to just whisk it up really quickly. If you can smell, we need smell-o-vision because the orange and garlic is like a really good combination.
Ooh, sounds delicious. Now, this is the sauce, everybody, for this 5-step sticky vegan orange chicken recipe with homemade sauce. And like you said earlier, this sauce can go on so many things, as well as this delicious tofu chicken that you just made up right here on the camera. What do we have here?
So this is cornstarch. I'm just adding a little bit more to the mixture because it should be kind of pasty, the cornstarch with the water, because this is the key ingredient into making this sticky and gooey.
And then I hope you won't mind showing us what's inside the pan. Maybe bring it up close so we can see the consistency that you want it to be. Great.
So I'm not sure if you can see. It's super thick. I'm actually going to add more soy sauce and orange to this. I don't know if you were able to see it. And that's the beauty of this recipe, is that it's kind of like you're adding however you want. Like, it's up to you what consistency you want it, and you can play with it as you want. So the ingredients, the steps that were there are, up to you to play with how you like it.
I'm telling you, I can smell the orange from here.
Yes, it smells so good in here. So in this recipe, which I put in the ingredients, it's going to come out to orange and a half.
All right. Yeah, so if you have been watching, we are talking about this 5-step sticky vegan orange chicken recipe. This is the sauce that's going to go on.
Gooey.
Ooh,
yes.
Okay.
It's super gooey. Add a little bit more of my water and cornstarch slurry. And by the way, that cornstarch and water technique and trick that I just did, you can do it on anything that you want to be thicker.
Ah, that's a good trick. Did y'all get that little kitchen trick? All right.
Yep. So I have my done. And mind you, I don't know if you guys can see it. You'll see it in a minute. The stove has been off. It was only on for the first 2 minutes, but can you see that?
Yes, we definitely can see that. It's beautiful.
So all I'm gonna do is coat the chicken with it, the tofu, and then toss it, and it is done. So.
Wow, look at that. I don't know about you out there, but I'm telling you, you're going to love this recipe. This is the kind of dish that is home cooked and delicious and savory and scrumptious. Wow. Okay, so we mix it all together. Got it.
I'm just tossing it so that everything gets that, that mixture, the orange sauce. And I love that it's made from like real oranges. I know sometimes people do make orange sauce. You could make this with orange juice. But to me, the real orange just takes it to another level.
Amazing, incredible. Wow, what a dish. All right. And as soon as we are complete, we're going to see it up close in deliciousness, everybody. And again, you're going to head over and find this recipe. Yep. And be sure to pre-order some dishes here as well from Veganlicious _NYC. Oh my gosh, look at that, everybody. Incredible. We are so grateful you joined us. What are you putting on top? What's that?
So this is some sesame seeds, to give it the full effect. This is originally, in most Asian restaurants, you might be able to find this orange chicken. Let's see if you guys can see that.
Yes, we can. And we are so grateful you all joined us here on Lunch Break Live. Come back again and we'll see you next time. One more time, real close. Ooh.